This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. We are moments away from kickoff, and we've got a good one on tap between the Carolina Panthers and the Washington Redskins. With that, let's get on up to FedEx Field near Washington. Standing by for the call of this one, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Just a few moments ago, it was the Redskin defense being introduced, and the largest cheers went for their Pro Bowl quarterback, Josh Norman, as he and his guys get set to do battle with the Carolina Panthers. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Redskin team as they interplay here. They've been as hot as anyone. The win last week makes it 9 out of 10.
The results are hard to argue. If there's a team better suited for the postseason right now, I don't know who they are.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Panthers, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by the #1 overall selection back in 05 out of the University of Utah. It's Alex Smith.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win. They run it here with Thompson. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
On first down, it's Smith. Completes it right side to Dodson. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Now Thompson. He'll be stopped short of the 25. The nice move couldn't free him. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And here a look at the offensive starters for the Redskins.
Former 4th-round pick out of Duke is Jamison Crowder. Now, he doesn't grab a lot of the headlines, but he's been quietly dependable for his first 3 years in the league. Shifty, excellent route runner from the slot position, finds his way open and catches the football. Yeah, he's dependable. Quarterbacks love to throw to him.
And he drops this off to Thompson, complete. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 5 yards on the pickup, and they're going to face a 3rd down. Defensively, here are the starters for Carolina. They're trying to cover up some holes in the secondary. Right now, bottom 5 in the league against the pass at number 28.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
From the gun on 3rd down, Smith. It's brought in by Dodson. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, he'll have to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
They'll go to Pirine, trying to pound it in. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Able to hold him to just 2 yards, and now it's 4th and goal. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play, because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on,
one?
what does that mean? Break out the just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now it's Newton here off the bootleg. And he's got a man on the crossing route. That's Moore. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
From the 50, Newton. To the right side, and he's got more complete. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Throwing is Newton. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding offense.
Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpire's got different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down. A look here on your screen at how Washington's going to line up defensively. They come into this one ranked number 17, so just starting the bottom half of the league against the pass.
Defending the pass has not been one of their strong suits throughout the season, but if they have any hopes of making waves in January, they've got to improve in this area.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To the air again, Newton. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Washington offense as we get a look at the playoff race in the NFC. And it's a good news, bad news proposition for them. Mostly good news, and that's that they have clinched a playoff spot. Bad news, if they want to make a Super Bowl for the moment at least, they'd have to do it out of the 6th and final spot.
Well, you know what I would do if I were leading up the coaching staff?
What's that?
I'd call everyone together and say, so what? We're in. That's all that matters. The only people who have to really worry about all this now are the logistical people. They have to get us on the roads. The equipment guys have to get stuff there. All we have to do is band together as a team and go play a game.
Man, I like that. I'm juiced up. I'm motivated. Let's play.
Let's go.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll fake it. Now Smith. And now the ball's loose. Smith loses it. And the Panthers have recovered. And hopefully for both sides, not a sign of things to come, Charles. This morning, it was so perfect outside, but we knew this weather was coming, and we see the effects of it here early on.
And I wonder if how perfect it was this morning has psychologically fooled everyone. You know, it's almost like even though we were told the weather was coming, and you know the teams knew it as well, that maybe they got fooled and thought, it's going to be okay. And now they're probably a little upset that it's out there raining.
Because warm-ups were dry.
Oh, well, dry, and now you've got to make the change up, and it's the first quarter. Might take them a little time to settle in on their focus and concentration.
Well, they've been practicing goal line offense all week. Let's see if they're able to capitalize here. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. And he's going to battle his way down right around the 2-yard line. The keeper gets him 7 that time, but it'll lead to a 3rd down.
Well, after getting the ball in prime position to score after a fumble recovery, you think you're in a great spot. But the defense on the field is saying not so fast, and they've held firm on the first 2 plays.
They come out here in the eye. They'll run for it with Bo Scarborough. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And Gano's kick is right through. And that will tie us at 3-3. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board, ended up settling for 3.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This will be taken about the 12. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
On 2nd down, here's Smith. This one complete to Jordan Reed. He was locked in. 2 trips to the end zone, Charles, over 100 yards receiving.
How about the combination of route running, confidence going downfield, and the ability to go up and get the football? You're exactly right. It was hard for them to stop him. His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. Smith will bring his guys up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. Now a 1st down throw. It's Smith. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. Jordan Reed was the intended target. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way off the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Oh, that one sailed a bit, but the catch is still made. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Chris Thompson with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Redskins are able to strike for 6. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Dustin Hopkins on now to add the extra point. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And the lead is now 10-3. 5 plays there on that drive. And it was polished off by a Redskin touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. So 1 quarter in the books on a cold December afternoon. 10-3 the score. We'll head back to FedEx Field after this timeout.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd down and 5 here to start things out. Now Cam, option left. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. He'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a 3rd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Now Scarborough. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. But at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
Here's Ryan Quigley now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the 2nd quarter.
He doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back. And that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. On the ground, it's Thompson. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Here's Smith now on 2nd down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Richardson. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. And in Week 17, let's hope this won't affect him for the playoffs. We'll step aside. Now it's Smith off the bootleg. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. Smith on first down. Crowder's got it over the middle. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers. Smith now, only one pass has hit the ground for him. 10 of 11 thus far. It's 1st and 10. On the handoff, it's Geis. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Defense doing their job, really nowhere to run the football. Yeah, it's almost textbook, wasn't it? Every place he tried to find an open spot, there just wasn't one. Congrats to the defense, no gain. Call fitting your gaps, right? I love it. You're exactly right. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. Well, usually you don't think of the cornerback coming in for a no-gain play, but that's what we had there. Nice tackle. Yeah, and how about the range, too? Coming from the outside part of the play, moving his way into the inside and making that play happen. No gain for the offense, big play for the defense. And that one good for 16 yards and a first. A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork. Smith will bring his guys up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. They'll run with Thompson. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line. And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down at 6. When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense, to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish? Holding that to a minimal gain. He's going to flip one out here to his running back, and he gets it down to the 32. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that's going to make it 4th down. Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it? It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He was true on his first. This a tough one from 49 yards away. And that is not going to get there. Oh, he missed it short. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. Yet in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football. Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again. Newton now to throw. Got a man right side. It's McCaffrey. A good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the juke. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll be 2nd down. So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field. And an alley to run. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line.
That one will go for 9 yards and a first down on the keeper.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
Off the bootleg, Newton. And that's complete to McCaffrey. Give him 8 on the play, and it'll be a second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
McCaffrey, and the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to see?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. They run. This is Scarborough. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. The ball's still a few inches shy of the marker after the 3-yard run, so now a little soul-searching on fourth down.
That was well coached and even better executed because you saw him looking for the cutback lane, never materialized, and had excellent pursuit to stack that play up.
And Gano's kick is right through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there, we've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Off of play action, here's Smith. And now the ball's loose. Smith loses it. But the Redskins look to get this one back, and indeed they did. It's still Washington football.
Holding offense.
They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I'd say the staff that's up in the booth watching the game, they may want to file that one away. See how fast the free safety closed to make that play? Might want to check into a throw the next time.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. To throw is Smith. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they've got to make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to FedEx Field following this short break. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. After the run, Newton going to throw. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. The wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now second down.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming. The first sack, the first. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Greg Olsen, his 4th touchdown on the year. And his guys are able to strike for 6.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Graham Gano on for the extra point. Gano the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Alex Smith and company heading back out there now. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure that his team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game. But just let them know, hey, if I'm around, if I'm the one calling signals and throwing the football, just follow me, we'll get there. Sometimes that will do more to elevate a team than anything else.
See if he has that confidence. To throw on second down is Smith. Looking for Crowder, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the veteran Brian Arakpo. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. So officially now a 1,000-yard campaign for him, but I don't think he's going to take his foot off the gas pedal.
Yeah, it's one of those thoughts, though, that creeps into your mind because there is a little mini celebration over on the sidelines. Everybody, hey, job well done, over 1,000 already. But guaranteed, as you noted, someone's jumped in that huddle and said, a lot more to be done, guys. Let's not, would you say, take your foot off the pedal? Let's not do that right now. But there is that possibility as people can get self-satisfied. The greats do not. We'll find out what he's made of.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. A shotgun snap for Newton. It's hauled in by Torrey Smith. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. On first down, it's Newton. It's caught on the right side, it's Smith. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Newton throwing again. That's complete right around the 8. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. Again, Newton. Buying time to his left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Jonathan Allen in there to drop him. And it'll be a loss of about 8.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further.
Set. 180. Look at it.
Newton now to throw. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. And give credit to Reuben Foster, the linebacker, getting a hand in to disrupt.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Out of the gun, Newton. That's complete right around the 8. They are able to get 9 yards out of that, but now it's 4th down. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get to end the first half. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Gano's kick is right through. And that extends their advantage to 6. It's 16-10. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. That'll be taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you as always. Welcome into our final regular season edition of our Halftime Report. Playoff lives hanging in the balance as we take you around the NFL one final time. We'll start up at TIAA Stadium in Jacksonville, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Matt Ryan, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. From there, we head north to Minnesota. Check on the Vikings at home at US Bank Stadium. And they trailed that one to the visiting Oakland Raiders. Chris Conley, a touchdown reception. Finally, we'll save the biggest for last. We head to AT&T Stadium to see what's happening with the Cowboys at home in Arlington. And they were losers in that ball game to the visiting New Orleans Saints. 14-9, the final. In our game, it was Cam Newton who led the way in that first half. His guys take the lead into the third quarter as we head back to FedEx Field and Brandon Gaudin.
right, Coach. Thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, here's Newton. Caught left side by Funchess. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Throwing on third down, Newton. Over the middle, that's complete to McCaffrey. Nothing doing on that one, and it'll be fourth down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. They'll give it to him right up the gut. Shedding. He fights his way into the end zone for a Redskin touchdown. Chris Thompson, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Redskins find a way to stretch their lead. Second effort there, he was determined to find pay dirt, and he did.
I think that's a great example of what coaches talk about, a back that runs behind his pads, and he uses pads to get him into the end zone.
On is Hopkins now for the extra point. Extra point good by Hopkins, and that will ensure that it will take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it. A 10-play drive that time, and it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Carolina offense making their way out. We take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups. This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, second and 10. On second and 10, Newton. Funchess has it complete. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be third down.
And that's when it's fun to play defense. When you're able to diagnose a play right from the beginning, get all your guys to the football, and spill the play, That's when you have a lot of fun playing on that side of the ball.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Over the middle to Smith. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 11 yards for number 11.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Newton on 1st down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. It's the linebacker, Manti Te'o, on the stop.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
3rd and long. It's Newton. And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack. Matt Ioannidis in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Here's Ryan Quigley now, standing just outside his own goal line. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Now it's Crowder. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Redskins will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Right back to him on 1st down. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
Smith finding his big tight end read for a Redskins first. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Oh, there's no doubt that this is a huge defensive series right here. They've got to hold them to a field goal attempt or less. Otherwise, this game just might be out of reach. Let's see if they can hunker down and get it done.
Geis with the carry on second down. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. In on the tackle there, Luke Kuechly.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
They'll try and get it with Geis. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard.
When a good play is made on defense, oftentimes leverage is the key to everything. Defensive line not getting turned, all the other guys making sure they're in the right spot, and on that play, they were able to stop them short of a first down.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And Hopkins' kick is good. Goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the fourth quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Smith. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Decent start to the drive there. Of course, they need the touchdown, 2-point conversion, and a field goal.
Yeah, those guys are into it. How about the guys on the sidelines? You see the coaches signaling, all the personnel groups up on the sideline, ready to go in and out of the game. They've got to condense their time now in order to try and get back into it.
And caught left side, Olsen. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Newton to Olsen there for a Carolina first down. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Newton. Throw left side, McCaffrey's got it. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
On 1st down, Newton. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Quentin Dunbar right there on the coverage.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves his sticks. Now whistles. Flag down, and I believe one of the Panthers got moving early.
False start, offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
Throwing again is Newton. And that is incomplete. Looking to go back to Thomas again, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
Not easy being a rookie left tackle in this league, and there they got him for the penalty.
Not easy at all. Think about what you're dealing with every game you play. Ostensibly, the best pass rusher is over you on every snap. I'd be a little jumpy myself.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Newton. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. So it's Panther ball as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. So out comes the field goal team once more. And Gano's kick is right through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So you knew one way or another that they needed the 2 scores. They get the easy one out of the way. Now they'll get the ball back, hopefully.
Yeah, and the question is, how do you accomplish that? Do you onside kick it? Or since you have all 3 timeouts, do you kick it deep? To me, I'm playing field position with all 3 timeouts. I kick it deep and try and pin them back there.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super toe.
They'll hand it down to Geis, and he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. They stay on the ground. Geis again. And he's got the first down. Yardage before being taken down at midfield. Now the Panthers going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So they jumped on the left side of that line.
And you know when you're at the end spot,
Still first
you
down.
are like in the starting blocks, waiting for the pistol to fire and go, and he jumped a little bit too early.
So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys
I'm a little
skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for the Redskins, a win means they'll finish in double digits at 10-6. And that is maybe not exactly what they were hoping for, but a better than average season nonetheless. Meanwhile, for the Panthers, they wanted desperately to finish at 500, but that won't happen, as it'll be a 7-9 season in the end. And they can take solace in the fact that this team never quit all the way to the end. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaud. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.